What can you expect as a TEDx audience from the TEDx speaker? The idea that will blow up your minds and will be useful. Today, amazing ideas are being presented. Mine is quite simple, but can be very powerful. I'm going to answer the question how to turn any theory you choose into practice with success. Our minds love gathering information. We're addicted to it because we've been taught that it's the best way to constantly develop ourselves and the world we live in. But unfortunately, it is not so easy to put information we have in minds into our day-to-day routine. Let's look at the picture. This is what we know, and that is what we do. What we know consists of proven theories and wrong beliefs, and I will come back to this later. Now, let's focus on what's between those two pictures. I bet each of you, at least once in life, wanted to implement theory into practice and failed. I had failed many times before I started using the wheel of change. Still, sometimes I fail, but the wheel of change really increases the chance of succeeding. What is it? It is a simple tool I came up with that consists of 4 steps you perfectly know, but probably you do not use them in the right order, and that is why you cannot achieve your goals. The first one is crucial, so let's dig deeper into feelings so you could understand what I mean. Imagine you're driving a car very fast. You're listening to music, you're so excited, your muscles are tense, and your mind is focused on everything you need to control speeding. And what's your brain's doing? It's adjusting to the circumstances, so by working as fast as required. And after 1 hour, you come home and your partner asks you to put the baby to sleep. Your brain is still driving a car, but now your task is to make a child go to sleep. What's the difference between those 2 activities from your brain's perspective? The speed of action, the rhythm of brain waves, which scientists define as neural oscillations, that can be measured with EEG, electroencephalography, a method that can record the electrical activity of a human brain. Scientists define 5 brain waves, but let's concentrate on 2 of them to understand the wheel of change. When you're driving a car, your brain, or the dominant brain wave in your brain, is beta, which refers to actions, moving, thinking, gathering information, but also being stressed. When you want to put a baby to sleep, or you want to fall asleep, you should simmer down your brain to the alpha waves, which refer to peace, quiet, calmness, and relaxation. And here comes the first step of the wheel of change. Changing the frequency of the dominant brain waves in your brain from beta to alpha, which I call rest. People who strive for development don't like resting. Oh, it takes time. I need to attend that workshop, read that book. Oh, there's a TEDx in my city. I'm in. Isn't it a paradox that we spend more time on watching and listening to ideas than implementing them to improve the quality of our lives? It's impossible to change a wheel in a car while driving. It's impossible to make any significant changes in your life being in a constant hurry. If you want to put theory into practice, you need to stop and start with rest. We have to be aware of the fact that we are all now in beta waves, which means that for your minds, my words are just a piece of information. And if you want to use it, you should change the dominant brain waves from the beta to alpha. How can we do it? How can we change it? The most efficient method is breathing. Deep breaths will simmer down your brain and release tension in your muscles. You can do it that way. Come on, let's do it together. Once more. And again. How do you feel now? This is for better and this is for worse. Okay? Better. Great. So, what's next? What's next after resting? The second step of the wheel of change is reflection. Being at the alpha waves, you pose the question to yourself to choose the idea you want to put into practice. But I know what I want to implement, you say. Of course you know. But if you want to do it successfully, you need to start with rest, change from the dominant beta to the dominant alpha, your brain waves, and consider the idea you chose being at the alpha brain waves. For example, you want to be more productive. You've gathered information about tools that help people increase their productivity and organizational skills. But you're still driving a car. Your brain can nod, oh yes, you should use this tool. But you say, oh look, another bright idea to be more productive. I must read about it. No. Stop. Having the alpha waves as a dominant wave in your brain, consider the idea you want to implement by asking questions. What exactly do I want to change in my life? Why? How? What result do I expect? If you spend more time on rest and reflection, the next steps will take you less time and you go through them with ease. The third step of the wheel of change I call realize. I'll show you. Oh, that's the way it is. It means connecting the dots. You connect your answers, what, why, how, and you plan for the next steps. While making changes, it's better to plan than improvise. I personally believe that this step is very powerful because it's the source of motivation and determination. You stopped. You chose the idea you want to put into practice. You truly reflected on it. you realize what you really need to do, and you do. The fourth step of the wheel of change is react. Means implementing changes, step by step, bit by bit, smile by smile. So, what's the result of the wheel of change? Moving from theory to practice with success. I call this simple tool the 4R method. Rest, reflect, realize, react. Do you want to know how I came up with this tool? In 2013, I quit my job, and for money I had earned before, I bought myself a 3-year career gap. I had plenty of time, and I was looking for the answer to a question, how to succeed. I was lying in bed and thinking, and lying in bed and thinking, and after all, I was so fed up with lying and thinking that I was lying on me, and lying. And that became the answer. Rest and changing the frequency of your brain waves from the dominant beta to the dominant alpha. It took me 3 years of lying in bed, okay? What a lazy bone. Is that all? Within the wheel of change, yes. But later on, when I was using this tool, I found something interesting by accident. Do you remember this picture? I said that what we know consists of proven theories and wrong beliefs. And I discovered that being at the alpha waves, I could distinguish theories that deserved my attention from misconceptions that held me back against making significant changes. 3 of them were very harmful. Let's find out which one. The first big misconception is that the crisis is something bad. Yes, it is uncomfortable. But in many cases, it's just a moment of choice, like a stop at the crossroads that forces you to choose one option. Change this belief with the crisis make your wisdom rises, because that will allow you to move forward. The second misconception is that the crisis is somehow a failure. Following Mark Twain, who said that it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It is what you know for sure that just ain't so. I redefined some of my experiences by asking, what if my failures were my successes? And what if my successes were my failures? I've realized that every experience taught me something important. So instead of using success and failure labels, I started to ask, which life path is unavailable and which is opening now? Focus on the future, not the past. And the third is about fear that holds us back from trying. Do you know what's the difference between fear and excitement? Our expectation of a result. If we are afraid, we predict something bad will happen. And if we are excited, we strive for a happy ending. That means we can choose the interpretation when our heart is beating faster and our muscles are tense. Not fear. Choose excitement. Strive for a happy ending. So, my recipe for myself and for you is be your own mentor. Replace misconceptions with beliefs that support you, being at the alpha waves. And then, after choosing the theory you want to put into practice, always act the same way. Rest, reflect, realize, react. And remember, it's better to choose less but implement with success than choose too much and fail with all. Good luck!